guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm not sure if you could recognize it by the mirror, but since October, my stomach has slimmed down quite a bit. I'm not there yet. By all means, I have much longer to go, but I noticed a nice switch because I'm feeling much better. My skin is a little softer, and I'm also using the vitamin C oil every day, and that's made a difference as well. As for the oil, I haven't started using it yet, but I will probably try a couple of drops tonight. And guys, when I say that I use olive oil, I don't fry with it. And I probably use 2 of these on top of my vegetables if I do. And that's what I use. Either that or I put it inside of my soup after it's cooked. Maybe 1 teaspoon, but you know, it's all up to the fact that all that starch was doing something to my skin. I could not. I guess with less starch, this is a much better deal for my skin. I mean, at 63, I don't want to start, you know, adding to the problem by choosing a diet that's wrong for this climate and for this body. And so just to let you know, I have been doing vegetarian and protein, and I've been trying to follow this. I haven't been doing the sample meals to a T, but I am going to start tonight to try to especially pay close attention to the serving amounts, which is difficult because, say for instance, vegetable chop suey is 6 servings. This recipe is for 6 servings, and it calls for vegetables. It calls for 1 medium carrot and a half a cup of cabbage, a half a cup of cabbage, 1 medium onion, and 1 cup of broccoli. So you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to use 1/4 of a cup of vegetables, and for every vegetable that I make, I'll show you, following the samples on page 73 of this book, I'm going to follow those measurements, a half to 1/4 cup of vegetables, and I'm going to stick to that because if I recall, that's what I used to do. I used to be so destroyed over the amounts, and sometimes I just gave up and put in as much as I wanted, but I never really ate that many vegetables all those years ago when I lost tons of weight following this. And boy, my bikinis were small. And so, you know, I've been trying to get into them, not because I need to wear them. I just want to have an idea. And they fit, but not at the same notches. So, boy, I was small. I was a children's size. I'm not fooling you. And so, you know, most 18 and 19-year-olds are that small. I was in my 40s that small. I don't know how I did it, guys. How did I get to be that small? Maybe it was too small. You know, maybe I have to talk about that one day. Maybe I look too childlike, and for my own good, you know. It wasn't a safe place for me to be at 40, and it was too much for me. Meaning it was too life-changing for me. That changed all the rules of my life. Anyway, I'm still ever grateful to Dr. Neil Barnard for showing me one of the best ways that I can get to feeling good again. And so for tonight, I believe I'm going to have the lentil soup with a cauliflower and carrots and a baked potato. Yes, one baked potato. And there are 3 potatoes in the course of 7 days. So that's not too bad. That's not much of a switch. Actually, it's a big switch, but it's more, I like it much better like this, guys. I think I can handle lentil soup with cauliflower, which reminds me, I don't have any. But I love cauliflower, so I'm gonna head to the market, whatever market it may be, and get a head of cauliflower. And I'm also running low on water, so those 2 items are necessary for me. And so tonight, that's what I'll do. And I will, between now and tonight, I will have my lentils soaking, because I'm going to use dry lentils, and I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of red and brown lentils together. So that should be a nice light meal, but substantial enough for me to, you know, feel satiated. And so, guys, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go out and buy cauliflower. Oh, I'm going to have such an interesting day buying cauliflower. See you later. Wow, talk about speedy service. Guys, every time I come here, I end up losing something because they shove you through the door so fast. It's all absolutely opposite of Walmart, unfortunately. But I much prefer the nice, easy, steady pace at slow of Walmart than that. I don't like that. I had my arms full of stuff. I didn't know what to do. And everything kept falling over and over again. I don't like that kind of service. I think this is the first time you're going to ever hear anybody complain about service that's too fast. So it's 34 degrees today. I was thinking of doing a brief little walk. I really crave a walk, and so I'll see if I can get that in, and I'll catch up with you guys later. So guys, now that I've picked up my items, I think I'm going to see if I can go to one of my favorite spots and maybe take a nice brief stroll and get some fresh air. So I'll see you later. So guys, I thought I would stop off and I saw something here the other day that I think I need. I've been looking for one, and every time, it so happens that every time I see one, I forget that I need it, and so I think I'm gonna look for this item. It's a kitchen gadget, a little tiny kitchen gadget, and hopefully I'll be able to find it again today. And so I'll only be a few seconds, so I'll take you in with me. It's not much of a big deal. So guys, I did find my gadget plus one extra, and so you know what? It's turning nasty out here. The winds became very, very high, and the temperature up here it plummeted. So I think I'm gonna head home. It's close to 4 p.m. I think I'm gonna head home. So I'll see you at home, and I'll talk to you soon. home now, and I'm going to show you what I got from Dollarama. So hold on and wait and see. So guys, I kept forgetting to pick up one of these. I usually buy a new one a couple of times a year because it gets so dirty washing all those potatoes. And then this is what I remembered seeing the other day. And I know that I had one, my mom had one, and I got rid of it because it was, well, lo and behold, it was so stinky. So I didn't want it in the drawer that way. So I have to remember to rinse this very, very well with soapy water every time I use it. And it's going to make cooking a little more easy because I just dislike slicing into garlic. It's much more effective to crush it. So, and then I bought some more peanuts. So, altogether, these 3 items cost me $8.95. I forgot to show you my first grocery haul. And those were, it was, I'm sorry guys, I don't know where my head is today, but as far as I know, it's still here. Okay, I'm going to flip the view and show you what I got on my first little tiny grocery haul. So hold on. So guys, these were the items that I was so rushed out the door to buy. I kept forgetting that I need parsley because I really don't use it too much. And what I do is I cut the stems off and I just rinse them. It depends on where I buy them. Usually I don't wash them because they lose a lot of their aroma and flavor, but I think maybe I'm going to soak a couple and see if they're sandy. If they are, I'll wash the whole batch. If they're not, I'm going to simply chop them, not too much, freeze them. It makes life easier. You know what I'm saying? And so I bought 2 grapefruit. These are grapefruit, which I love in the morning with my, oh God, apple or orange, all mixed in to the blender like that, and then I drink them. So this should last me a good couple of weeks because these are big, and I don't use too much grapefruit all at once. I could never eat a whole one, that's for sure. And then another cauliflower. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to wash this, cut it, and freeze it. And that way I have it, you know, for the rest of the month. And it's not a bad size. It'll do. And so those items cost me $12.87. done with my lunch, I'm going to have a little discussion with you about a couple of minerals, I believe. I think that's what's on the agenda for today. And I'll catch up with you just a little bit later. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. So guys, I'm going to get my notes together, and I'm going to give you a little discussion on some minerals. And so hopefully you'll be able to follow along with me and understand what I'm trying to say. And hopefully I'll understand too. So anyway, let me gather my notes and I'll be back in a second. Hi guys, so I'm going to explain to you while my soup is boiling the characteristics and traits and functions and sources of potassium. And please bear with me because it's a very abstract and complex concept, and I'm not good with things that are not concrete. You know what I'm saying? Potassium, it is visible. You can, I've been told you can knife it. It is visible, but not always, not in all forms. And so I would like to go over all of these characteristics with you. And I'm going to tell you the truth about my mother's family doctor, who she fits right into this class of symptoms that I'm going to discuss further on. And my mother's doctor refused to respond to any of our calls. The hospital couldn't even track her down. She wouldn't respond to anybody's calls. And I know that my mother had a kidney, one of her kidneys was weak, and so that was part of her deficiency. And so bear that in mind, excuse me, bear that in mind when I go through the characteristics of potassium. And we can start out by a simple definition, and hopefully I can pronounce some of these names. I want to be as clear and concise as I can, even though it's a very complex concept to grasp. I want to at least leave you open with the opportunity to do some more research on your own if you would like. So potassium is a chemical element that reacts with oxygen, water, and carbon dioxide. With water, potassium forms potassium hydroxide, and it ignites hydrogen gas. It gets hot enough, it explodes, guys. So liquid sodium potassium alloy and potassium are very potent and strong alkali metals with a valence electron. Now, a valence electron is an electron that has an outer shell with openings that can easily attach to other molecules. And so that is a valence electron. So it combines with other ions to form salts. Now, an ion is an electrically charged molecule. Now, if any of you have ever watched Star Trek, that would be all those little electrically charged molecules that used to shake and quiver every time Captain and Spock, took off the transport platform and zapped themselves off to other planets. I think it's the same sort of idea on a much more miniature scale, of course. And so an ion is an electrically charged molecule, and in nature potassium occurs only in ionic salts. Wow. So elemental potassium reacts with water and it generates a lot of heat, which is why it can ignite hydrogen gas. It is found dissolved in seawater and occurs in minerals like orthoclase, a constituent of rocks. So It's in rocks. Potassium is radioactive with 3 isotopes. Traces are in potassium, a body radioisotope. I don't think I said that one right. Radioisotope. That's better. So potassium is radioactive. Now, what are the functions of potassium ions in human bodies? Okay, well, the biochemical function in humans of potassium ions, it's very integral to cell function. And so potassium transfers the ions across nerve cells that are necessary for the nerve transmission in the body. Potassium deficiency and excess result in signs and symptoms that are varied, including, and this is what my mom had, abnormal heart rhythm and electrocardiographic abnormalities. That's the, you know, when the cardiogram, they hook you up to a cardiogram machine, all that screen goes crazy. And that can be caused maybe by an actual heart attack, but potassium levels that are plummeting and probably that are skyrocketing too. And so in my mom's case, they were completely down. I don't know if it was only because of her liver malfunctioning. She had a very weak, it wasn't liver, it was her kidney. She had a very weak kidney, and so I don't know if it was because of that. I never got an answer if this could be fixed up. It was fixed up in the hospital, and then my mother went back a second time, and this time they experimented with her. Guys, please don't ever go to a teaching hospital. It's not worth it. It's just not. You want to hold off on being experimented upon. And God, she was in such agony. I'll explain more as I go along. So potassium levels influence physiological processes such as cellular membrane, you know, when they're resting, and action. So resting and action in neuronal, muscular, and cardiac tissue. So it's all concentrated up here. And so what happens is there are 2 ions that go through your body, especially in conjunction with potassium. Potassium and sodium, K and Na. I remember that from chemistry, and that's about all I remember. So what happens is there are 2 pumps from these ions. One, and they both behave automatically. One will passively let ions in. Another will block the other ions from coming into the body or the organs. And so other processes that are very, very key to potassium and the potassium ion are hormone secretion and action, vascular tone, systematic blood pressure control, gastrointestinal motility, acid-base homeostasis, glucose and insulin metabolism, mineralocorticoid action, renal concentrating ability, fluid and electrolyte balance. So it's pretty important, guys. It's all throughout your body, especially for kidneys. Homeostasis. Potassium homeostasis denotes maintenance. It's all about keeping the total body potassium, like total potassium levels throughout your body, you know, key level. And so potassium, plasma potassium level also, it controls that. And also it controls the ratio of intra to extracellular potassium concentrations within narrow limits when you eat, when you go to the bathroom, and it manages all those shifts between intra and extracellular compartments. Wow, that's kind of complicated. Okay, so enough of that. What are the food sources where we can find potassium? And now, guys, it's very important not to have, like our discussion yesterday, it's never good to overdose on a mineral, because if you do, it can result in just as bad a reaction as a deficiency. So, fruits and vegetables are sources of potassium. I really strongly advise you and encourage you to do your own research, especially if you are having symptoms and you don't know what it could be, and maybe you don't want to go to the doctor yet or whatever. Give yourself an idea of what it could be. Go by symptom. So potassium raises serum levels by shifting potassium from outside to inside, inside to outside, and increasing excretion through the potassium. So potassium is found in fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, and foods. Other foods with potassium are yam, dried apricots, parsley, milk, chocolate, nuts, almonds, pistachio, potatoes, bananas, avocados, coconut water, soybeans, bran, tomato paste, orange juice, beets, white beans, plantain bananas, and regular bananas, and apricots. So, what happens with a deficiency of potassium? Well, I can tell you from experience: puking, nausea, runs. You have the runs. You can't hold down food. You might break out into a sweat. Undereating, overeating. My mother underate, and she had all of these symptoms, guys. Low potassium can bring hypotension and hypokalemia, which is part of what I just described. Guys, we knew that she had a weak kidney, and hypokalemia is related to kidney problems. But what we couldn't get to the bottom of, and doctors were baffled at my mother's doctor's attitude to just abandon my mother and not even check her blood. Like, the results of the blood test would go to her. She wouldn't involve herself. I guess she was too busy. That was meant to be sarcastic. Guys, I just don't understand it. When a hospital doctor has to break his back trying to find a family doctor that won't take calls, it's bad. Bad. Okay, I don't want to turn this into a rant. I'm upset because I saw my mother suffer, even though my mother and I, we irritated each other. Nobody wants to see that, or nobody wants to see anybody suffer. I didn't want her to go through that. What we wanted was to find out if we could fix this potassium deficiency. And along with potassium, her magnesium and sodium levels were rock bottom. And, you know, I don't know why doctors are so shy of talking about foods. Because I think what she had in one instance was bad for the other. They couldn't coordinate it. It was okay in the hospital. She wasn't, even when she wasn't on intravenous, they had it well maintained. And then she ended up in the hospital one more time, and they began experimenting on her. They wouldn't let her go home. even after they brought it under control, they demanded that she perform an experiment with different kinds of like salts and stuff like that, and it destroyed her. She took a capsule, I think it was a capsule or a powder, and she drank it. It destroyed her. What she had became immediately fatal in the hospital. And so don't ever let anybody perform any experiments. If you have a problem, call security. There's nothing else I can say, but it is very racist to perform experiments on people of different colors and nationalities. Just so that hospitals are clear on that. It's very racist, and it's actually very inhumane. There should be a law against it, but not in this province. So, anyway, I hope that through all my ranting and raving that you have, it's upsetting to go over this because my mother had this. I hope that I've managed to help you out. I hope that I've managed to help you recognize some symptoms. Again, I urge you to do your own research. Go to a doctor. If you don't like what one says, go to another. I would avoid making a big deal out of it unless there's a lot of pain and you can't handle it. Because doctors are going to, they're all different, and they're going to take what they can and make what they will out of it. Nobody is sure about anything anymore because so many different things are starting to, come out. So many different studies, and that's why it's important to know all about your food allergies. Like that, you know what your body can take and rejects. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go check on my soup. I hope that you've enjoyed this discussion, and I hope that you found it helpful and interesting. So let's go see the soup. Well, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I really am working hard to make sure that I include all the most important elements that are essential to the human body, vitamins, minerals, foods. And I hope that you can take this information that I gave you tonight and organize it into any way that you need it to be organized for you specifically, or for your loved ones, or whoever else you think may need it. And thank you so much for listening and watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.